hip.
It's Sky High Breakfast, where mornings meet madness.
This is Sky FM 88.5.
Be sure to keep it right here. It's Sky, the People's Radio. Sky High Breakfast is what you are listening to right about now. It's 7:35, early in the morning, and we are getting into a conversation that we usually have every single Thursday. Right about now, we are talking about Zambia's political temperature check. All right, it's a temperature check, so we have our thermometers ready and all of that good stuff. So we're talking about campaign conduct, we're talking about opposition dynamics, and we're obviously having a conversation about the 2026 election narrative right about now. All right, so we have our guest, who is not a guest anymore. He's part of the furniture at Sky FM, Mr. Chanda Vupe, who is the resident political analyst. Welcome to the show once again.
Thank you very much, Fanatic. How are you?
I'm good. I can't complain. So let's get it started, okay? The country is steadily moving closer to the 2026 general elections. The political atmosphere is obviously becoming increasingly active. Campaign materials are already up and being targeted for vandalism. Opposition parties are repositioning themselves through alliances and endorsements and all of those different things. We've seen a number of defections as well. Government is celebrating economic milestones while the ruling party continues to challenge its rivals to offer alternative solutions to the nation's challenges. Okay, so this morning we're taking a political temperature check. Okay, Zambia is heading to towards issue-based politics, or is it personality-based and all of that? Let's get into that conversation right now. In recent weeks, we've seen several opposition figures and parties endorse President Hakainde Hichilema, and now reports indicate that Miles Sampa has aligned himself with the UPND. What do these developments tell us about the state of the opposition politics ahead of the August elections?
Fanatic, I think for me, without being unfair to anybody, because you've mentioned Miles Sampa, I'll mention him as I answer that question. But I think for me, it shows that the opposition have, not all of them, of course, a bit disgruntled, and they've not really looked at what their role and responsibility is supposed to be as the opposition, other than the pocket. Majorly, you've seen these movements of people shifting from one political party to another, for one simple reason, because probably their political party didn't pick them, as candidates, or they've gone as independents, and others have shifted camp after they are not picked. They've joined another political party, and I think for me that is a very big problem, because it shows that people are flip-flopping. When you have a political party as an individual or just as a grouping, you have your own ideals. You have ideologies and you want to stick to these ideologies. So most of these political parties have surprised me. Some of them, or some of the individuals, have moved away from actually being, presidents of political parties to go and stand as independent members of parliament. So now that brings into perspective this question to say, is it really genuine? You want to offer that opposition stance, or it's something that is more about you surviving and getting to get a job, because probably here you failed, so you want to use the other channel so that you can probably succeed there and still remain relevant in terms of what you've been doing in or political career as an individual. Yes.
Politics of the belly.
Yes, politics of the belly. Yes. And sometimes it's surprising. You hear people say a lot of nice things about a person they were insulting yesterday.
Yes.
It shocks me. Miles Sampa has moved, or is trying to align himself with the president. I think I watched something on Diamond TV some time back where he was being interviewed after they had separated with the UPND. And I will not mention exactly what he said, but it was not a very good remark about the UPND and the president. He talked about things to do with initiation, such kind of a thing. And I think that, for me, this is a person that has decided to go back there. When he said a lot of things after that, I think it doesn't augur well for him.
Yeah. Totally understand. Some of these endorsements, let's talk about the endorsements, okay, quote unquote. Are these endorsements and defections a genuine vote of confidence in the government's performance, or do they expose deeper challenges within the opposition parties to unite around a common agenda and a common leader?
I think for me, my answer would be yes and no. Yes, for those that are genuine and they've always supported the current, government and the current president, thinking that he has a certain trajectory that he's using or following to map out and bring out the Zambian economy out of the doldrums or out of the situation we were in or we are in. Others, no. It's people that you want to chance opportunities, they want to remain relevant, they want to be some MPs, some ministers, some ambassadors. That is what the position is. And I think that that way we're not giving the Zambian people justice. We need to save the Zambian people genuinely. We need to provide this opposition, stance that we started from. Probably, maybe I don't know. Maybe in the last 2 years, probably one thinks that they can join the UPND and support the UPND, basing it on the so-called inverted commas, the gains that the economic indicators are showing. And to me, it leaves much to be desired, because much as you have all those indicators, yes, not irrelevant, but those economic indicators to me must actually make an impact on people's lives. And I think that is what we ought to look at. How much impact are the economic indicators that we are talking about? I know we're talking about GDP, we're talking about inflation, exchange rate, and all those things. How much impact has it made? Real impact on you and me, on that individual lady they are selling at the market. Those are the issues.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Some critics argue that the ruling party is attracting what we might term political heavyweights, right? Because it's performing well, like we've talked about, economic indicators and so much and so forth. While others say opposition parties are simply struggling to maintain relevance. All right. Which is the correct interpretation here?
Yes and no, because look. It's not. I think I've looked at a few political parties and gone through their manifestos. There is something that one can pick when they read from there. And I think that maybe the problem that the opposition is probably having is beginning to sell their manifestos, to bring out that document to you and me, or to a level where a layman or a person that is not very educated can get the message and hear exactly what they are planning, for the future. That is, I think, for me, well, that's what I'd really say.
Yeah. Let's move to the police service, because it's an election year. We have to make sure that people are safe. We've seen spats of violence here and there across the country. So let's talk about the police. Police have warned that damaging of campaign materials is a criminal offense following the incident involving an independent aspiring candidate in Solwezi. However, concerning is the development at such an early stage in the electoral process. We've had the police representative here on several occasions, and he's said that the police service is more than ready to handle everything concerning the elections and, cadre violence, all of those different things. He said they're more than ready. So what's your take when you see things like this happening?
I think for me, to deter such vices, you don't need to wait until it's extreme. We need to do it as early as we can. And I hope that the Zambia police will be as professional as possible in terms of implementing the law fairly, impartially. I think that is what is key. Obviously, it's a crime. It's a criminal offense. If you're going to damage other people's campaign materials or billboards or whatever you may call them. So people must be aware. Sometimes some of these things are done innocently, where you think, if I do a BCD or I cut this, I do a BCD. It's just one of those things. It's politics. But when it goes to the police or probably even the courts of law, it turns into something else. So people must refrain, and let's have a peaceful campaign. Let people put their own billboards. Let their cars be branded if there is money to. Because what I notice is that, I don't know whether you've noticed that this particular election, I've not seen too many vehicles that are
100%.
branded. No.
Yes.
So it's probably a cash-tight issue.
Very, very true. So beyond police investigations, what do you think what are some of the practical steps that the police should take, political parties? We have a number of independent candidates in this particular election. What do you think they can do to ensure a peaceful and respectful electoral process?
I don't know about this time. I don't have evidence whether the police have done what they've done in the past, because I think that sensitization is key. If they could team up with the Electoral Commission of Zambia and sensitize the masses on how to conduct themselves, what the law says or entails when they do certain, act or take certain actions concerning the arrivals, or be it you are in the ruling party or opposition, I think that will be very key. And that will help the Zambians or the cadres that are usually caught in the fray to refrain from doing certain things, because they'll have been enlightened, they'll have known a few things. I can assure you there's a bit of, allow me to use this word, ignorance of the law or certain things, and then when somebody decides to actually follow it through, like strictly, you begin to think that somebody is just, trying to squeeze you, or they're trying to be political, and because you're probably in the opposition or you're not supporting the current ruling political party, probably that's why they are following you. We must just be in check all the time, tick against the laws of Zambia concerning the electoral process, concerning how the campaigns should be done. And once you follow through, I don't think you'll have issues or problems with the law.
Yeah. Government recently announced a successful $1.3 billion Eurobond buyback as part of Zambia's debt restructuring efforts. For the ordinary Zambian, why is this development a significant one?
Well, it's significant because obviously with debt we're getting choked as a country and as a people because of time. So we needed to restructure the debt so that we have ample or enough time to actually begin to pay without us paying a lot of money or losing a lot of money or defaulting. So this is very important, of course, for the country, so that in the end, though I must mention here that yes, it's an achievement, but we should not think the debt is gone. No, we have just restructured it and said probably the one who will be the next president in the next 10 years or 15 years must continue to pay that debt. So that is, if at all, they will ensure that they don't default. Okay? So I think that for me, it's significant in the sense that it will not put us under pressure. It will not probably allow us to default, because obviously the agreement and the discussions that we've had is with the people that gave us the Eurobond is to have ample time and structure or stretch the finances or the repayments that we're supposed to be giving them at an affordable and manageable level.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. As we are heading to the elections, we circle back to it. As voters begin evaluating political choices ahead of the 2026 elections, should they focus on more promises for the future or on measurable performance?
Wow. Okay, it depends on where you're standing. If, for example, you are a Zambian like me, and a person who's not really directly involved, participating like a political person or a politician, and I'm just this Zambian waiting for the guys to get to office, and they're giving me all these stories. And I think for me, I would look, if I'm looking at UPND, this is the way I'll answer it. I'll be looking at both the promises and the deliverables. That is very, very important. UPNDA promised a lot of things. And before I even begin to look at maybe the new promises, I'll be ticking against what they promised.
The older ones.
And what they've achieved. Yes. And what they've achieved are the deliverables we're talking about. The records are there. But like I said, it's very difficult for a person, a lay person especially, who does not want to hear things like inflation rate is now 6.6% and the GDP is 4.6%. They don't want that. What they want is, look, because of this economic indicator, which is inflation, has reduced, the price index also has become very favorable for that person down there. I think that's what they want to hear. They want to hear that the tariffs probably from ZESCO, have been reduced to a minimum or to a significant level where it makes an impact in your pocket. They want to also probably just hear that, what we heard, that fuel has dropped. Yes, those are things that make business thrive, because if the electricity tariffs are high, your fuel is high, the environment still doesn't sit well for a business person or for a person that wants to venture into our business. Yeah.
All right, well said. Mr. Chanda Wupe, resident political analyst, each and every single Thursday on this particular show on the Sky High Breakfast. Thank you so much for coming through to the show, as usual.
Thank you, Fanatic. You still owe me. You keep promising me that you'll call me so that you teach me that thing there that you keep on touching all the time.
You know what? One of these days. One of these days. Stay locked, stay tuned. This is the Sky High Breakfast. Hope you're having a good one. And remember that there's money for you to be winning. All right, we have 1,000 kwacha that we're going to be giving out just after 8. So if you want to get your entries in, do it right about now. Star 770 *2# is the number that you need to dial.
This isn't just breakfast, it's the breakfast of champions. Fuel your day with Sky FM.